What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's quick tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Seeed Studio Xiao ESP32S3 Sense camera. In this video in specific, we'll be setting up a simple web server on this device using the Arduino programming language where we'll run the web server. So we'll just upload the code to the device and we will be able to do some simple things with this. So we'll be able to take and show a photo as you see here. So I can click that button. I can also retake a photo and download this photo. So I'll be walking you through all this at a high level, and this will form the prerequisite of other camera-based videos we do with this very powerful device. So be sure to stick around to the channel and hit that subscribe button before we get into it. And even better, this code will be provided to you for free before we get started on the Xiao blog down below to help you better follow along. So go ahead and click that link in the link down below. Enough being said, guys, let's begin. Okay, so first thing we want to do before we even write any code is we want to make sure we have the correct device at hand. So once again, this is the Seeed Studio Xiao ESP32S3 Sense. I know that's a mouthful. And this is a really simple device to use. So you can see it comes like this, and you just have to attach the camera as you see here, and you have to attach the antenna, and then you just plug it into your computer. Now for this tutorial specifically, you do not need these pins. So it does come with these pins, and you can solder those on if you want to add sensors. We'll do that later on to add some motion sensing that we can take photos based on some certain motion. But for now, you can keep those unattached. So really all you have to do is attach that camera, attach that antenna which snaps on, and we can begin writing code and make sure that is plugged into your computer. Okay, so now that we have the simple hardware attached and ready to go on our computer, the next thing we want to do is we simply want to make sure we have the Arduino IDE. So I'm just going to assume you have this because it's so common if you are programming on the ESP32. If not, just go ahead and Google Arduino IDE and install it for free for your operating system. And once we are in the Arduino IDE, we can go ahead and create a new sketch. Now I'm already in a new sketch as you see here, and I already have the program, frankly. But on top of that, if you haven't already, you want to go to the left and you want to install these boards. So the Xiao ESP32S3 boards. So go to the boards manager, search ESP32, and you have to download ESP32 by Espressive Systems. And once that's installed and you are connected to your computer, you want to make sure you're connected to the correct serial port as you see there. So you can go to the ports here and you can select the serial port. So you should see ESP32 family device or something of that nature. It shouldn't be Bluetooth incoming port, so we know that's not it. So the only other port here is this port. So that is indeed the port of the ESP32 on my Mac. Now, if you are using Linux or if you are using Windows, it will look different. So just keep that in mind. And next we just want to go to the board. So we want to select the correct board. So go to board, go to the ESP32 section and just find the Xiao ESP32S3. So you have to scroll down for that. I mean, there's so many here. Okay, so there it is. I already went ahead and selected it. So once we have that, you just want to go ahead and get the code, and you want to modify the code slightly. So that code is on xiaotech.com in this section. So you have to create a free account. You see I took a photo of myself initially in the blog. So I hope it's a nice photo. But this is the code, and you could just go ahead and copy all this and just paste it in one INO file. So that's all we are doing here. And once you have the code in there, you can just simply put your internet name and password. So this is my internet name and password. And once we have the internet name and password, we can frankly run the code. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail in this code. Pretty much what it's doing at a high level is just interacting with the camera, and it's saving the images on RAM so you can access those images to download. And it's also rendering a web page, and we have buttons on those web page. As you see, this is the HTML. And when you click those buttons, it does trigger some functionality in this code. So we have a bunch of helper functions as you see here. And of course, it also has to connect to Wi-Fi. So we have a connect to Wi-Fi button there, and we have those endpoints in our app. So very simple application at a high level, and we have all the helper functions. All you have to do is simply put your internet password. So we can go ahead and upload this code, and make sure you are viewing a serial monitor to see proper output. So you can go to serial monitor here, and I already have my serial monitor open, and we could just go to baud 115200 and go ahead and upload this code and give it a moment to upload. Okay, so after some time, you should see some successful logs here. So it looks like the web server was started at this IP address. So go ahead and copy this IP address, and we can go ahead and just put it here in our browser. As you can see, I already had it there. But once you're there, you should see this simple rendering, and then we could just take the camera and we can just start taking photos. So I'm pointing it at myself right now so we can take a photo, and it caught me blinking. Let's try to take a better one again. So you could see not bad. And obviously, it's a pretty low megapixel camera. I believe it's only 2 megapixels, so not that great. And I think there's a 5 megapixel version, but pretty decent resolution here for such a small and cheap device. Also, we have the option to download this photo, so we can go ahead and download it, and we can go ahead and open this photo. So go ahead and open that. once it is downloaded. So pretty cool, very simple, and just a very neat device where we can take images so simply and do other sorts of applications we want with them. For example, this device has Wi-Fi on it, and hopefully in a future video we can send those images to some bucket or some storage in the cloud where we can build some more useful applications. But you saw how incredibly simple it was to set up this device. So that pretty much sums it up for today's tutorial. As you saw, very simple to set up this device and to start taking images and downloading them. If you got this working, or if you learned something new, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because that would mean a lot. And also, if you have more interested in these types of IoT application, that is camera-based applications, let me know in the comment section down below of what you want to see in future Shilla Tech videos, because I will take your suggestions into consideration when making future YouTube videos. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe once again, and I will see you next time.